Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and dear shareholders and dear friends of Thea Automotive. It's a great honor for me to welcome you here for one more year to attend this AGM. And firstly, I would like to share with you the achievements, what we have achieved in the year 2024. A year in which I think that we have demonstrated that we do have a very good business vision that is producing results. And secondly, I'm going to be talking about the results attained in Q1 of 2025 that once again confirms our solidity. And what we are doing is advancing without limits. And this is not only a slogan, but it's also the philosophy that defines our identity and also reinforces our commitment in terms of continuous improvement. And in a global context that is characterized by economic challenges and regulatory challenges and technological issues, we reaffirm our capacity to adapt and to prosper even further by consolidating our position to become a reference in the international automotive sector. Our success is not just something that happened by chance, but it's rather the constant effort of a human team that is deeply committed. It has to do with a solid business strategy and also has to do with a clear vision with regard to the future. And today I would like to discuss with you how we've made progress on all fronts in the economic and financial front, in terms of business development and also social progress, environmental progress, and strategic advances to meet our commitments and to position ourselves solidly for the future. In 2024, Thea reached nearly 4 billion in turnover with a net profit of 326 million euros. Our EBITDA has reached 728 million euros and with a margin over sales of 18.4%, whilst the EBIT margin stands at 13.6%, and this confirms our capacity to generate value, and even in market environments that are complex. But how can we generate value? How can we do this? Well, exclusively because there's a very high level of operating cash flow that this year stands at 463 million euros, which means that we are transforming 66 of our EBITDA into an operating cash. And we have the net financial debt, and the ratio of net financial debt and EBITDA is 1.34 times, which means that we have managed to grow even further in investments. And every year we have met our commitment towards you people too. And that is that we've paid out nearly 108 million euros in dividends paid out. But from the stock exchange perspective, although the price of our share closed at 25.4 euros, analysts have maintained a target price of 33 euros, which shows that people trust our growth strategy. Our investors trust our growth strategy. And in 2024, we have taken more steps to develop our business even further with initiatives that reinforce the purpose we have of carry on growing, although with a very solid vision and in a responsible manner and with a global ambition too. Firstly, we've initiated the construction of a new plant in Mexico, which is a key project to consolidate or reinforce our presence in North America. And this new production facility that is multi-technological and represents a big opportunity to get closer and closer to our customers in that region. And secondly, I would also like to underscore the acquisition of AKT Plastics, a company that specializes in thermoplastic injection. And this operation has allowed us to extend our technological capabilities and production capabilities too. In Brazil, the year brought about the consolidation of Thea Salto within our group. And 1 year after being acquired, we've also improved production efficiency and we've extended the company's capabilities. And we've guaranteed a much more solid and competitive service for all of our customers. Fourthly, I have to underscore the growth of the roof business in India. So that means that we've strengthened our production and we are growing in a strategic market. And this has made it possible for us to improve the company's competitiveness. And this is how we can now meet a growing demand and also reinforce our presence in the Asian automotive sector. And finally, I would like to thank you for trusting us. Well, we've received support from the European Investment Bank and who've provided us with funds so that we can boost technological innovation and sustainability at our facilities in Spain, Germany, Italy, and France. And at THEA, we have very clear in our mind that our biggest value, or that our best asset, has to do with human talent. And this is why in the year 2024, we have carried on investing in an exceptional workforce that is made up of more than 24,000 people working in 19 countries. And this is related to some very specific facts. We are still reinforcing our culture aimed at diversity, equity, and inclusion, and we've set into motion 190 specific measures to promote these working environments that are diverse and also inclusive. And 88% of our employees have permanent contracts, and 99.5% of these people are working on a full-time basis, which obviously provides more stability and a mutual commitment. But in parallel, we've also spent 40 million euros on aid that improved the well-being of our workforce. And we've also intensified our efforts aimed at continuous training, and we've benefited more than 20,800 people with an average of 33 hours of annual training per employee. So it's not only technical training, but it's also training that is focused on the personal and professional development of these people. Health, or rather safety, is another basic pillar, because we have carried out lots of awareness-raising actions with our team, with more than 190,000 hours of health and safety training provided to 13,000 employees. At THEA, we support our customers in their transition so that we can move towards this new mobility. And during this fiscal year, nearly 15% of our sales have gone to 100% electric vehicles with our commercial diversification, and we maintain a balanced relationship with more than 80 customers. And with a geographic balance, we are a global supplier with 10 R&D centers and 109 factories in 19 countries. And we also offer multi-technology. So this is why we are focusing our investments on solutions, those that are most demanded by the market. And many of them are associated with comfort and with making vehicles lighter, and also electrification. And we are providing a total quality model, and we are investing in innovation. At THEA, we're making a big effort to bring our suppliers in line with our targets. And you know that we have a global purchasing model. That's our main focus. And THEA in 2024 received an excellent rating according to the ISO 20400 Sustainable Purchasing Certification or Standard. And this reinforces our sustainability policies, because this extends this to the entire supply chain and has laid down the foundations to make further progress in terms of ESG. And we also we are carrying out a daily monitoring of more than 15,000 suppliers, which means that we are verifying more than 95% of the purchase volume. And we've also made progress in procuring green energy, and this has also reduced our carbon footprint significantly. At THEA, we are totally in favor of social development through a transparent fiscal contribution and by participating in social action programs. What we understand is that transparency and fiscal responsibility are two fundamental principles that define the connection between our company and society. And in the year 2024, the total fiscal contribution of THEA reached 507 million euros. But apart from the payment of taxes in 2024, we spent 1 million euros on social action programs. And this social action is channeled through three pathways. One of them has to do with donations to NGOs and social and corporate marketing initiatives that are fully in line with our values, and also sustainable investment whose aim is to achieve long-term improvements for communities. And environmental progress made in 2024 is as follows. And that is, the board approved the environmental policy of our group that shows that we are deeply committed towards a sustainable development, and we're also fighting against climate change. This document serves as a guide for all of these activity, and we are focused on zero net emissions. And some of the landmarks, for instance, where we have the implementation of a new global tool so that we can manage environmental data and also make progress in new decarbonisation projects. We are following a circular production model that is based on eco-design and on efficiency. 2024 has also been the year in which we've carried on progressing powerfully, and we are unstoppable, and we're heading towards our strategic plan 2025. It's an ambitious plan with very clear-cut targets that can be measured that allows us to advance on two key pathways, operations and sustainability. And I would like to kick off by sharing with you the main progress made in terms of sustainability, which is an absolutely clear-cut priority. As regards emissions, we've reduced our CO2 emissions by 45% between 2021 and 2024. And as regards energy consumption, we've managed to achieve a reduction of 15%. And then we have waste management, and under this heading, we've reached 84% of recycled waste. And I also want to underscore the progress made in relation to our responsible supply chain, where we have achieved 77% of local purchases. And as regards health and safety, 98% of the THEA plants already have a certification. They have the ISO 45001 certification. And finally, and as regards sustainable borrowings, 100% of our net financial debt is also linked to ASG standards.
If we now look at the operating lines in our strategic plan for 2025, here we can also talk about very solid progress made during the period 2021-2025. Regarding the sales growth, we have surpassed the goal for 2025 already, which consisted in growing 20 percentage points above the market. Regarding profitability, we've reached 90% of the goal of reaching 19% EBITDA margin in 2025. Regarding investments, we're in line with the goal of investing around 5% of our revenue. Regarding responsible fiscal issues, here we're also meeting the goal and have disbursed close to 2% of revenue in company tax during this period. And regarding cash generation, as mentioned earlier, we have generated in 2024 463 million euros in operating cash flow, which is equivalent to more than 65% of the EBITDA. This puts us in line with the goal of reaching 500 million euros in operating cash flow generation as of 2025. In summary, the exceptional performance in 2024 reflects how structurally solid THEA is. Our business model is our main competitive advantage. It enabled us to move forward and grow profitably, and it can be said almost independently of developments in the sector. If we move on to the new year 2025, we've just closed and published the results for the first quarter, and the highlights are that we closed the quarter with the best historical result in an environment which, as you all know, is highly demanding. Our net income after taxes and minorities is 94.1 million euros. And we also surpass the market with an outperformance that consolidates our differential position. A management that makes a difference, operating efficiency and financial discipline versus global volatility, robust and sustainable profitability, growing margins that reaffirm our competitive advantage. We're growing on solid foundations, generating cash and profitability with a strong and flexible balance sheet in order to tackle any environment. Our operating cash generation in the first quarter was 126 million euros. If we analyze these results, turnover was 1,013 million euros, with a significant improvement in margins, where the EBITDA has gone from 18.5% to 19%, and EBIT has gone from 14.1% to 14.4% over turnover. Exceptional operating margins, the result of a sustainable approach on efficiency and cost control. If we analyze our geographical balance, we can see that the contribution of all geographic areas in EBITDA and in turnover has been a homogeneous and solid contribution. We can see this in greater detail in the next slide, which refers to the results and the profitability in the various geographic areas. As we always say, profitability doesn't depend on where, it depends on how. All our geographic areas operate with similar profitability levels, proving once again that the THIR automotive model is as solid in all parts of the world. The EBITDA in China closed at 19.9% over turnover. The EBITDA in North America, 19.8%. EBITDA in Brazil, 19.5%. EBITDA in India, 19%. And EBITDA in Europe, 18%. Our focus on cash generation will enable us during this strategic plan, this 5-year plan, to have an estimated cash generation of 2,200 million euros. Without a doubt, this extremely high cash flow generation significantly strengthens our financial position. And therefore, liquidity has gone from 1,497 million to 1,788 million euros. Our financial debt to EBITDA has been reduced drastically from 3.59 times to only 1.33 times. And also, our net financial debt, net equity, has been drastically reduced from 1.6 times to 0.51 times. Net financial debt has been reduced by 606 million and is below the figure of 1,988 million at the closing of this first quarter. And all this without leaving our side our commitment to create value for our shareholders. The estimated remuneration, the generation of value for our shareholders during this period, 2021-2025, will be around 520 million euros. I'd like to close this presentation with a clear and firm message. At THIR Automotive, we move forward with the conviction of believing in a better future. A complex environment, yes, that's changing and challenging, but we have shown again that our model is a solid model, and above all, our determination to turn risk into opportunities. The figures speak for themselves. Exceptional results. A balanced profitability on a global level. Operating cash flow, I always emphasize the operating cash flow as a driving force, a very robust balance that's constantly improving with a constant focus on you, our shareholders. In view of the positive evolution of the plan from the beginning in 2021 and at the closing of this first quarter of 2025, and also trusting that our clients can meet their forecasts, we can confirm that we will meet each and every one of our commitments in 2025. This is our way of understanding the business, with ambition, with responsibility, and with a vision of the future. Thank you for your constant support. Let's continue to move forward together. Let's continue to move forward without